Hi guys, today we're unboxing and setting up a racing steering wheel. So this particular one is from لاجیتک and it's the G923. Details including purchasing links are in the description below. So there's two variants of this particular wheel. I've got the PlayStation variant here. You can also get an Xbox version. Now both versions actually work with a PC as well. And this is the successor to the G29 and the G920. So let's jump right in and have a brief look around the packaging. It comes in a quite a large box. If you look over here, True Force featuring True Force HD force feedback for PS4 down here. Coming over at this side, just highlighting next gen force feedback with True Force. Accuracy is doubled compared to previous generation force feedback technologies. G923 is capable of replicating frequencies up to 1000 Hertz with a huge leap in racing realism and precision. And over here, real-time racing, True Force integrates directly with the game's physics and audio to unlock high-definition real-time force feedback, tire grip, suspension, weight, horsepower, even unique engine sounds are immediately and accurately felt through the wheel. Looking at the back, a picture of the pedals and the wheel. They look identical to the previous version, and again highlighting the True Force on there, and a couple of other things at the bottom. So dual clutch launch control. Then you've got race proven spec and complete control over here. Coming around this side has a picture of the wheels and detailing all the bits and pieces on there. So let's open it up and see what you get in the packaging. Okay, so I've taken everything out of the packaging. So let me quickly go through the items one by one. You get a لاجیتک G sticker. You get a card thanking you for your purchase. You get a document with important safety, compliance and warranty information. You get a booklet regarding the place seat from لاجیتک, and these are sim seats. To give you more of a realistic feel when you're gaming with these. You get a sheet of paper with instructions on how to get this connected up. You get a power cable, and just to show the connector on there. Build quality of the cable seems fine. You get a power adapter. Power cable connects into this point, and the other side is a cable going to a DC connection point, and that DC connection point plugs into the wheel. Next we have the pedals. So in terms of construction, the base itself is strong plastic all the way around. Matte finish on there. And the pedals, they have a metal construction, and coming to the first one, which is the clutch, has a spring-loaded feel on there, and the brake has quite a bit of tension behind that, which is good, and the accelerator has a smooth action on there. Good construction of the pedals. Now coming underneath there, now looking here, you've got some rubber areas, so 2 at the top, 4 here, and then 2 at the bottom. You've got some holes, so 3 over here and 3 over there, and that's for bolting them into a sim frame. And then coming over here, carpet gripper. So if I adjust this, there you go, it pops up. So if you've got it on a carpet, it locks it into position. General build quality feels good. And now coming over and looking at the cable, cable quality feels fine, and in terms of connector, looks like a serial connector on there, and this would plug into the wheel. Now coming onto the wheel, in terms of feel, good solid construction on there. You've got leather around the wheel here, a blue area just over here, sticker in the middle with the لاجیتک logo on there. Take that off. Buttons on here replicate a PlayStation controller, so you can see there. Coming over towards the back, you can see the paddle shifts, and you can hear the sound now. Coming over to the side here, you've got True Force written on there, and then you've got the adjuster for the clamp at the bottom. Now coming underneath, you can see the connection points just underneath it. So the point over here is for the power. You've got the pedals that go here, and then you've got the point for the shifter. So the package itself doesn't come with a shifter, so that's the gear stick, but I've got one, so I'll include that in terms of the setup so you can see it all in action. Now looking over here, you've got cable management points as well, so it's a nice flush finish once you've connected it all up. You've got screw points so you can screw it onto a frame. Now in terms of the clamps here, if I push down, it pops up, and you can see for yourself, I can turn it and it opens up. Just to open it up all the way. So the gap you have there is about 3 centimeters. Now, just to note, there's a plastic piece just at the side here, and that can be removed. So let me show how to remove that. So if I bring my screwdriver in here and we pop that up, do the same on the other side, we can just slowly prise it off. Oh, there you go. It's popped off, and that's what that reveals. So you can put it on a thicker table if you wanted to. And now gap-wise, you can go to 5 centimeters on there. And placing the plastic back on there, it's just a matter of holding it in a position and then pushing it in and it clips on. Simple as that. Same is applicable on the other side as well. Other thing to mention is the cable to connect to your PlayStation or PC. Just a USB connection on there. Cable quality is okay on here as well. Let's begin with attaching the pedals. So just to mention, you can put it on a flat surface, so it's a wooden floor. It can work fine on that. Obviously there's rubber pads underneath to avoid it slipping. And if you had carpet, obviously you've got the gripper underneath to avoid that moving as well. But we're going to attach it on the frame and use the bolting positions just underneath this. Okay, so I've attached the pedals now. I've bolted them on. I've only had to do 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. That's more than enough to keep this in place. And I just need to tighten it up next. And there you go, the pedals are now secure. Next, let's attach the shifter. So with this, obviously you can clamp it on. So if you had a table or worktop, you can just place it into position and then tighten the clamps, and it's fine with that. But with this frame, obviously you've got some bolting points. We'll bolt this on so it doesn't move around that easily. So there you go, shifter is securely in position. Next, let's get the wheel attached to the frame. So we can clamp that on, or we could use the 2 screw positions at the bottom to attach it via that, but clamping should be fine. Now, in terms of wiring this up, obviously you've got the cable management. The cable here is the USB cable, so we'll wrap that around once, go through the cable management. Next, we've got the shifter connector, and that's just over here. And if I place that into position, wrap that round. You can do additional wraps if you want, obviously just to keep cables nice and tidy. We'll just go around an additional time and that's it, just go through the cable management. Next is the connector for the pedals, and that goes just over here. So if I now plug that in, and then we wrap that around once as well, get it through the cable management. And finally, we've got the power connection, and that's a DC connector on there. That gets plugged into here. And then we can wrap that round once as well. Same thing again through the cable management. Reason for the cable management is so you can have it nice and flush when you've got it on a surface. And then we can just loosen up the clamps over here. You can see, loosen up this side and then place that into position. Tighten it up either side, push it down, just locks into position, and now that's ready. Now, just to note, the console does work on a PS4, PS5 and even a PC. So I'll show it working on the PS4 and PS5 in this video. Now we're ready to get started with this, and in terms of turning on the PlayStation, there is a PlayStation logo on the wheel, but that won't turn it on. So you actually have to do it from the console itself. So my PlayStation 4 is just over there, so let me turn it on. Just press the power button. Okay, so you see the wheel calibrating. Next thing to do is press the PS button on the wheel. So if I press it, there you go, you can log in now. Okay, so I've started up Gran Turismo Sport on the PlayStation 4 here, and a few things to mention regarding the wheel. So first of all, the blue indicator at the top is a center marker for the wheel, so you know where the center point is. So as you're turning, it's a quick visual indication. Now, looking on the wheel itself, you've got LED rev indicator here. So if I start speeding up, you can see the revs going higher, and obviously the indicators changing on there. Right paddle shift is to increase gear, and left one is to decrease gear. So if I now speed up, there you go, increasing brake. In addition to the wheel and the pedals I've mentioned already, you can buy the shifter, which is here, and that hasn't been upgraded. Would have been nice if they'd made some enhancements to that as well. The feel of this is good in general. The only real criticism about it is the fact you don't get a biting point as you're coming off the clutch. Would have been interesting to experience that as part of the whole experience there, but other than that, I think it does give a good feel. So if you wanted a manual shifter on there, I think it will work quite well. Really impressed with it. It's an excellent wheel here. Definitely worth getting if you're into racing games, enhances the whole gaming experience. So there you go, I hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. Hang around for the end cards for some more racing gaming tech. Drop me a like if you've liked this video. Let me know what you thought of the wheel. Would you consider buying it? Or is it a big no-no for you? Let me know your thoughts on it. So thanks for viewing and see you in the next one.